Hello, I'm Trish McCall, and I'm the founder of Wild Haven and Company. And I'm a 20 plus year nurse, yoga therapist, and also a wilderness trail guide. I take people on hikes and we do outdoor adventures, all in helping to reduce stress and strain and chronic pain due to trauma or stressors in various forms. So today, I'd like to go ahead and encourage you right now to go ahead and pause the video if you don't have a water bottle nearby. And I recommend to grab 4 to 8 ounces of water, even if you're unable to drink it right away. So in this session, we're going to be talking about how to stop panic attacks in their tracks or discomfort and that might be overstimulating to you, or you're shutting down because there's something going on that is unpleasant or uncomfortable. And so this practice is about regrounding yourself and bringing the nervous system back into that rest and digest mode when the part of the brain that is in fight, flight, fright, freeze, fawn mode, that you're trying to calm that so that you can get that executive brain functioning again. And we know that the part of the brain is called, that part is called the amygdala, and it takes a good 20 minutes to up to 2 hours for some people to calm down before they make any big decisions. So I'm going to encourage you to practice this. It is called a practice, so that when something happens, your body will remember, in the muscle memory. And to keep in mind that 80% of our nervous system is actually feeding up to the brain. So the more that we can move to impact the nervous system, and that it will help to bring that brain back online faster than if we just try to think through it. So that's why it's important to practice. So there's not a lot of thinking and there's just some doing in order to bring the brain back online, that executive functioning brain here. So according to science and several studies, the deeper we breathe, the better, online our brain becomes. And when we're in stress mode, we tend to shallow breathe, which then only activates the cerebellum area that is just our life functioning properties, such as breathing and heartbeat and those kinds of things, and just automatic functions. However, we need this part of our brain to make good decisions. And so the deeper we breathe, the more comes online in our brain and the better we can make decisions. However, when we're having a panic attack or an anxiety attack or something has triggered us, it's really, really hard to breathe. From my own experience, it can feel like an elephant sitting on your chest, and that's very hard to force yourself to breathe. So this is a grounding practice so that we can work towards that, because sometimes just trying to breathe doesn't work. And so we're going to work on grounding. So hopefully you have that bottle of water, and we're just going to come into our space here. And I often like to encourage people to be outside, to go outside. This seems to just work better when we're outside, and especially if our shoes are off or if we can be in nature. So, but I often encourage them to look up to the sky and see that it is not falling. It's not falling. The sky is not falling, even if it feels like it is. We're just going to start there, and then just take a moment to see 5 things. So moving around in your space with your eyes, seeing, putting your eyeballs on 5 different things, and then landing on the most pleasant thing. And just softly gazing at the most pleasant thing. And then we're going to touch 4 things. Maybe touching our hands to our shirt or our pants. Maybe there's something, maybe it is that water bottle that you're holding on to, noticing what you feel through those four things. And this is where I'm going to also introduce beginning the butterfly hug or the butterfly tapping. So this is called bilateral stimulation, and it helps the brain settle down. So because it's crossing both sides of the brain, left to right, to help bring it together, to pull it together in essence. So it might be you can squeeze both sides different ways, or if not, or you can do the butterfly hug, which is my preferred method if you are okay doing that and in a space that you're okay being seen doing it. And you're just placing your middle finger right below the collarbone. So you know you're in the right place over your heart. And we just begin to tap. And you can play around with this, what feels good to you. Maybe it's a little lighter. Maybe it's a little heavier. Maybe it's a little faster or slower. Now, just noticing. And maybe you're already hearing something. Another part is if you do not want to be seen, you can also do this with your feet, tapping one foot and then the other foot. Or you can scrunch your toes, scrunching your toes in your shoes. Maybe you're standing in line, or maybe you're at a meeting and you don't want to be noticed. You can just scrunch your toes and left to right, left to right. So as we're tapping, we're going to begin to listen and hear for three things. Keeping your gaze softly or closing your eyes, if that feels good to you. And now, beginning to smell two things. Notice if you can smell two things. And with this next breath, inhaling all the way to your abdomen. Then your ribs expand, and then your chest. And then exhaling as long as you can. The longer our exhale, the more it helps the heart rate actually. Let's smell that again and see if we can inhale into that abdomen, expanding, then the ribs, and then the chest. And in exhaling, as long as you can, from the chest, as the ribs, and then the abdomen sink in. And now we're going to try to taste one thing. Maybe it's something you just drank, or maybe it's taking this time right now to use that water or that drink that you have. And just reminding yourself, thinking to yourself, my world may feel like it's falling apart, but the world is not falling apart. Another thing that I sometimes incorporate are what we call breath prayers. And it may be simply the name of God, Yahweh, your way. And I like to incorporate that as in a whisper, Yah. Or it could just be Jesus as we inhale, and then we exhale, the Waymaker. Whatever it is that you're inhaling that brings comfort, as we exhale discomfort. Just remembering to get 4 to 8 ounces of water in and waiting 20 minutes for that amygdala to calm down at least before making any decisions, any big decisions. Okay. I hope that helped you, and I just hope that you have a blessed day. May the light in me spark the light in you, the light that leads the way. Yahweh. Shalom, friends.